couple days ago, XXL came out with their 2023 freshman list, which to my surprise was quite decent and way better than last year's. Off the top, we have to acknowledge Central C, one of the biggest artists worldwide hailing from the UK. XXL lists are 90% of the time American artists, so the fact that they acknowledge Central C, an independent artist who's selling shows in Europe and North America, is huge. From Central C working with Dave earlier this month, and Lily dropping a whole surprise EP, I worked with Cole Bennett's Lyrical Lemonade last year for the song Doja. He has unlocked and captivated his American audience. It's reported that Central C just signed a $25 million record deal with Columbia Records, and he will retain 100% of his masters, which is unheard of. According to sources, it's a joint venture with Columbia Records and Sony Music UK, the distribution company. Central C is one of the few rappers who gained major traction on TikTok and stayed relevant years later. From the song Day in the Life, Commitment Issues, Loading, they all managed to help propel him into the North American mainstream audience. Central C is actually the second artist ever from the UK to be featured on the list, with Steph London 2018 being the first, breaking that barrier. This list also featured Glorilla, one of my favorite female rappers known for her songs F and F and Tomorrow, that was later remixed by Cardi B. I Get My Feelings Hurt Today, I Won't Give Up Tomorrow. Big Glow and Ice Spice, probably one of the best intro runs of 2022. F and F took off, then she signed a major record deal with Memphis rapper Yo Gotti's CMG label, which is a Memphis rap powerhouse featuring Moneybagg Yo, ESTG, and Mozzie. Then later, Glorilla had her first tape, Anyways Life Is Great, selling over 29K sales in the first week, and sold out a tour within 24 hours. And Glorilla somehow became a comparison with Sweetie, an artist with 4 or 5 times her audience size, but couldn't manage to sell 3,000K sales in the first week, showing that Sweetie's audience likes her for her looks and not her music, while Glorilla's audience likes her for both. Glorilla is definitely an artist deserving of this position for putting in the work. Next up, we got Finesse 2 Times, Memphis rapper. You know, it's cool when they do it, but it's the problem when I do it. Known for his song Back End. Finesse is fairly new to the mainstream game and signed a record deal, I believe, no more than 2 years ago. I equate his song Back End to T Grizzly's song First Day Out because that song put him on the map. He got paid $50K for performance, only having one song. Finesse 2 Times got the authentic Memphis sound, the music, and has been making steady progress. Other than getting into it with Charleston White after he called CPS on his son Lil King, Finesse 2 Times has been having a linear path in his music game. One thing about Finesse 2 Times is, I feel like we don't know much about him as an artist. We know he's from Memphis, we know he has street affiliations, we know he went to jail and came home and got a record deal and changed his life around. However, there's certain stuff on the internet that don't portray him in the best light, like we've seen in certain videos. And we need to know, who is he? But luckily we'll get that experience with him being featured on this list, as he didn't get more mainstream attention. Now Ice Spice, Princess of the Bronx, who has one of the hottest rap careers only 10 months in, refused the XXL list. Now we saw this last year with Yeet, as he crept the list for obvious reasons. Ice Spice is a walking billboard for business. After she got hot off her song Munch in August, she released In Her Mood in January. Then a month later she released Boys a Liar with UK artist Pink Panthers that flooded the TikTok and Instagram algorithms as fans were dancing and making TikToks to her music. I know I'm not the first to say it, but many people won't admit because she's super popular right now. We all thought Ice Spice was going to be a one-hit wonder and gave her a grace period from August to about Christmas. But it's like she just kept gaining even more traction, proving the haters wrong with every release. She was featured with Adidas Ivy Park, Nike NYC, Kim K featured on her Skims campaign. She could even be seen wearing brands like Balmain's and Tommy Hilfiger, posing with Tommy Hilfiger. To top this off, she got the Nicki Minaj cosign from her and the Barbs, and her Nicki Minaj clapped on Princess Diana, which broke the net when it was first released on YouTube. You have Ice Spice the rookie, getting embraced by Nicki Minaj the veteran in this rap game. Like we all know, Nicki Minaj doesn't get along with a lot of people. She doesn't get along with Lotto, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and like I said, there's only a handful of people that she actually gets along with. So the fact that Ice Spice, a young girl from the Bronx, Nicki's from Queens, Queen gets the money, is embracing someone from New York and giving her, you know, I guess the tiara, I guess the crown, whatever, is big. So you know Ice is doing something right. Literally a couple days ago, they released a song Barbie World, which is going to be featured in the new Barbie movie. So Ice Spice stuck in XXL doesn't really surprise me because she's very busy, and it wouldn't surprise me if Ice is making over $1 million a month based off endorsements alone, not even picking up a mic. What's that saying? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And you gotta give credit where credit is due. Lil Tyler, the Florida Jit, is the youngest artist on here, and it's someone who makes decent music. And it's like, damn, I don't know if we're on Jada Waiter or Ruby Rose. He's a young kid from Florida who has bars. His song Law & Order is what first gained him the most traction, and I mess with a lot of his music. He sort of reminds me of a young Babyface Ray, an artist who raps about money, cars, hoes, and clothes. Then recently, he did a remix on the song Area Codes with Cali. I mean, shout out Duke Dennis, man. And yeah, that song was, it was decent, for the, I guess, the white boys who be eating the lobster and, pasta. What I can say for this freshman class is the majority of these artists I actually know, and it's not random people like last year. Like last year, I'm looking at the list and like, half of these people probably just picked out of a jar, and I mean no disrespect because I listen to rap music and I haven't heard half these people. But this list, Lil Tyler, Central C, Glorilla, Finesse 2 times, we got more people I'm going to talk about. People that we all know. Boston Richie is a name that made heavy headlines this year. As he was affiliated with Future, and there was alleged paperwork about him that I personally don't really care about. However, according to 10 Jake, this paperwork is what got him dropped from his Future tour, and him and Future were in cahoots, of course, and Future, street rapper, does mess with that, and basically dropped him from the tour, as Boston Richie was actually an artist on the lineup. When it comes to him as a rapper and artist, I haven't really been following him, and I really don't know much about him at all. I know he signed with Epic Records recently and got a bunch of money from that deal, but as far as his rap sheet, there isn't too much information that I can tell you about him because his career is still fairly new. Next up, we got Lola Brooke, the New York rapper. Lola Brooke is an artist who's making heavy noise in the New York streets and known for his song, Don't Play With It. Might I say when it comes to female rappers in New York, they've been applying serious pressure when it comes to Ice Spice, Lola Brooke, Kenzel B, Scarlet Poo. Actually reminds me of a female DMX. They have all managed to get all the eyes on them in the city. And that's why you always see people joking about, yo, like the female rappers got all the anthems for the summer. It's like you got Pound Town, which I think is horrible, but you got Ice Spice, In Her Mood, you got the Bikini Bottoms, you got the Princess Diana with Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj. And basically, they're saying that the women artists have all the songs of the summer because, relatively speaking, for the women, of course, because I don't listen to that type of music, it's been fairly hot and fairly good music for them. The women love it, so the value of music cannot be denied. She was on tour opening up for Meek Mill, and she's been making crazy noise. One thing I would say is, I'm very surprised that no Bronx drill rappers have made this list. Honestly, in my opinion, Bronx drill, the subgenre of just drill in general, of course, has brought so much attention towards New York City. Half of these artists, Ice Spice is technically a drill rapper, Lola Brooke, no, Scarlet, technically, I don't know, I'll say no, but Kenzel B is a drill rapper. All this attention comes from the guys who, like the K-Flock, the D-Thing, the Bando, the Shy EK, the B-Love. They all brought so much attention towards it, so the fact that none of them who actually made the city hot, like, them not being on the list is kind of weird in my opinion, you know? This isn't to take away from Lola Brooks, however, it's just food for thought. Two other Philly rappers, artists that I'm somewhat familiar with. Now, sidebar, what's with Philly dudes getting this white chalk on the hairline, man? That stuff is just super weird. Now, for those of you who don't know, 2 Rare is actually the actual creator of the stiff hip or the Ice on the Rock dance popularized by Lil Uzi Vert. He does have that song Do It Again with Emily Choppa, and it's had a few collabs with Bronx artists like Be Love. And I've also seen Gillian Wallow, shout out None Knows What the Game, my favorite podcast, show mad love to 2 Rare and D-Sturdy and all the young Philly content creators and artists. One thing about the XXL list is, I don't know if the right word is sentimental. When I first started this channel in 2021 in June, that was one of the first videos I ever covered, man. And 2 years later, I'm covering my 3rd video on this. And I don't think the first 2 are because my video quality was not really that good back then. I took it down. But it's kind of like a annual ritual for me to cover this topic. So appreciate whoever's watching this video so far, and let's get to it. Friday is the artist that I recently became familiar with due to him being featured on DJ Khaled's song God Did with Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and Rick Ross. And his vocals on the song were very good, no doubt. Now, other than him being part of that song, he was on the song Counting On You, which was actually featured on the Fast and Furious or the Fast X soundtrack. Honestly, he can sing really well, but when I think of XXL, I think of people who've been working for years, and this didn't take away from him because maybe he has been working for years behind the scenes, but when it comes to discography, he's been putting out music for like the past year or so, so it kind of seems a bit too fast for you to have, like, I don't want to say success, because like there's no time frame on success, but reach a certain level. And I don't want to say he doesn't deserve it, but this is very questionable in my opinion for him on this spot and him on this list, and I'm just being honest, man. I can't sugarcoat the truth. Now, Sleazy World Go is an artist that's been popping for over a year, and he's had his sleazy flow that gained traction on TikTok. The song was later mixed by Lil Baby, which actually really stamped him as 30. And later in 2022, he released his first album, Where the Shooters Be, featuring Offset, Jerbo, PGF Nuke, and Fatal Bang, which stamped him as official, man. Over a month ago, he came out with the song with Polo G, and he's just been off the chart, man. Something about Sleazy, I know it's not the music, so it's probably the look. He just reminds me of Polo G a lot. I don't know if it's just the dreads, but his whole demeanor and persona is like a kind of like a young Polo. Tia Corinne and DC the Don names that are all new to me. So I did some research, and Tia Corinne is actually on some Freaky-ish. Known for her song Freaky T featuring Mulatto. And coincidentally enough, she kind of reminds me of a baby Mulatto with a softer voice, because Mulatto has a bit more aggression when she raps. Now, DC the Don is an auto-tune style rapper who sort of got the dreadhead emo thing going on. And after hearing 12 a.m., which, sort of reminds you of a young Playboy Cardi and Trippie Redd, a lot of energy in his appearance definitely made you question, who is he? His rapping style seemed to be like an evolved SoundCloud rap. He had been rapping for well over 4 years. So personally, it's not my type of music, but he does have hundreds of thousands on songs, and people obviously have interest in him, so I can't diminish his character. But when it comes to this list, I don't think he should be on the spot, respectfully. Now, lastly, Rob 49ers, name that I became familiar with a couple months ago due to him and French Montana being involved in a shooting while they're filming a music video. Now, up until then, I didn't know much about Rob. And me, I know about him. I didn't know anything about him, like him working with Lil Durk, Lil Baby, Birdman, and running up millions of views. So after I saw that, I knew that, Bro was official. His music is good. He got that real Louisiana South type of accent, and just something about him, man. The Boosie, the Young Boys, the Waynes, the Birdmans, like that Louisiana music, it just hits. I just gave Hustlers V2 featuring Kevin Gates, another Louisiana rapper, and Birdman a listen, and bro slid on the song, and I will most definitely be adding that to my list of new artists to watch. He's someone that I feel is from Louisiana. He's young. He makes good music that hits hard because it talks about pain and stuff. And he's definitely a young rising star who was very deserving of his position and rapping for over 3 years. So on YouTube, of course, probably longer. And like I said, man, you can't deny where credit is due, and he deserves the spot.